students, welcome to your next restorative yoga practice. So I've titled this restorative, but it really is a mixture of restorative and yin. So some postures you'll feel a little bit more of that connective tissue stretch, like a yin practice, and some will hopefully be just super comfortable, a little more like a restorative practice. So if you're wanting to veer more just restorative, make sure to have some extra props so you can prop yourself up more so that you feel less of that stretch. If you would like a little more yin, then don't use as many props. Get deeper into those stretching postures. We're gonna start seated. So find a comfortable seat. I'm sitting up on my folded blanket. You'll also notice I have a blanket down on my mat for a little extra cushioning, since you will not need the grippy texture of your mat. I also have my socks on still and have some extra clothes on because we won't be moving around, we won't be building heat in this practice, and there is a tendency for the body to start to cool off as you make your way through yin or restorative practices. So you might want, depending on how chilly your room is, you might want a little extra clothing or some extra blankets nearby. Be somewhere where you can find a tall spine. So rock the fronts of the hips a little bit forward. Make sure you're sitting up nice and tall. You're not slouching the shoulders forward. They're pulling onto the back body. Give your hands somewhere to rest. And either close your eyes or take an easy downward gaze. And as you settle here in a moment of stillness, focus on your breath. Noticing right away if your inhale and exhale are of equal length. And if not, whichever side of the breath is shorter, gently start to lengthen that side of the breath. You don't have to do a specific pranayama form. We're not doing ujjayi breath during this practice, but we are working our way towards samavriti, even breath, for right now. As an intention for practice, I'll invite you to think about the yama aparigraha. Aparigraha means non-clinging, non-possessiveness. It can be translated as non-hoarding. And so right away, this yama is reminding us not to try to hold on to stuff that we don't need. So certainly material possessions that are no longer serving you, get rid of them. It also means not to hold on to people, not to be possessive of another person. Also not to hold on to ideas of who you think people should be, and also who you think you should be. Are you clinging to an idea of who you think you need to be, rather than getting to know who you truly are at your deepest level? In relation to our physical yoga practice, are you clinging to ideas of how a posture should feel in your body, or what you should or shouldn't be able to do? Instead, can you let each practice just be an exploration of where the body, the breath is right now? Breathing in, breathing out. Now shifting the breath, we'll do a few rounds of 3-part breath, Dirga Swasam. First, breathing in air to the chest, then the low ribs, then the belly, and exhaling the air out of the belly, then the low ribs, then the chest. Repeating that. Inhale, chest, ribs, belly. Exhale, belly, ribs, chest. Inhale, chest, ribs, belly. Exhale, belly, ribs, chest. Twice more. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Last round. Inhale. And exhale. Raising the gaze or blinking the eyes open. We'll move into our first posture. If you're sitting up on a folded blanket, I'll suggest you stay there. You're going to bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees open. So you're in bound angle or Baddha Konasana, in yin, butterfly. And if you know this is a challenging position for your hips, go ahead and grab your blocks. And bring your blocks under your knees or under your thighs at any level. You could also use folded blankets or other cushions for this if you have two. And then if just sitting up tall here is enough, you'll continue to sit tall. If you'd like a little more, we're going to take this into forward resting butterfly. So you might grab your bolster or your cushion, bring it in front of you. If it's pretty stiff, you can use it on the diagonal to prop your forehead up. If it's a little mushier, you might sort of hug it in front of you or lay it on the feet if you're folding down more deeply. Just find your way to a place where you feel like your props are helping to support you. And then settle into stillness, focusing your breath on wherever you feel the most sensation. Letting the exhale release that tension just a little bit. Another way to do this posture, if you're really only folding a tiny amount or not at all and you want more support, is to bring a chair and bring it right in front of you, and then you can rest your arms and your chest can sort of lean into the seat of the chair. Take a deep breath in. And let that breath go. Slowly press your way back up to sitting, moving any props out of your way, guiding the knees together. And then taking a moment, take your hands behind you and just windshield wiper the knees side to side. And then once you feel ready to move into our next posture, you're going to need your bolster sideways across your mat for this one. We're coming into resting half moon, which is very different than regular balancing half moon. So your bolster is sideways across about the middle of your mat, and you might want your blanket on the opposite side of your bolster from where you are. I'll show that in just a minute. And you might want a block or two off to one side. So sit on your right hip next to your bolster, behind it, and bring a block out in front of you from where you're sitting. You're going to sit up as tall as you can and then reach that right arm over your bolster, so you're coming into a side bend here. Lengthen your legs long, and your blanket here can come under that arm, or it can come between the arm and the head, or it might sort of wrap around, depending on what's going to help you feel the most comfortable here. And then you're welcome to stay here, or that top leg, so your left leg, can come forward, and the shin and the knee can rest on your blocks. And then you're welcome to stay here, or left arm will reach up and overhead. Maybe your right hand will grab hold of that left wrist. And if that becomes too uncomfortable with the arm overhead, you can always bring it back down in front of you. If you don't like the leg reaching forward, you can pull it back and stack the legs. But settle into a place that feels right to you. Take a deep breath in. Let that breath go. Start to bend that top arm. Bring the left hand back in front of you. Pull the left leg back on top of the right. And then slowly press your way up. We're going to go directly into the other side. So just shift around to your left hip. Move your blocks if you're using them. And then sit right next to your bolster, get as tall as you can, and then reach left arm sideways across as the legs go long. You might use your blanket to help support the head, and maybe that top leg reaches forward to your blocks. Right arm can stay in front of you or can reach up and overhead. Coming into resting half moon. Take a deep breath in. And let that breath go. Start to bend the top arm. Pull the right hand in front of you. Pull the right leg back on top of the left. And slowly press your way back up to sitting. And we're going to turn to hands and knees to prepare for our next posture. Just slide your bolster off to the side, but don't put it too far because you might want it for the next posture. Come to table and take a few breaths here to do whatever feels right to you. That might be some cow and cat. It might be circling through the spine. And then once you're ready, we'll move into our next posture, which in yin, this would be called sleeping swan. In restorative, it would be called resting pigeon. So we're going to bring one knee, I'm going to start with my left. Bring knee and shin forward. Your knee is coming off to that left edge of the mat. Your foot is working its way forward as much as it can. The eventual is you're trying to get this shin parallel to the top edge of your mat, but for a lot of us, it's not gonna be all the way there. Keeping your hips level, notice if your hips are pretty close to the floor, maybe you just need a folded blanket under this left hip. If you're up higher in your pigeon shape, I'm going to suggest grabbing your bolster, or if you would just like a more restorative version instead of yin, take your bolster a little bit on the diagonal across your mat, so the right side is a little bit farther forward. And then you can sort of sit on your bolster, maybe snuggle your foot under it. And now you have a little more support for that left hip. Then from here, you can stay exactly as you are, or maybe you come down to your forearms or rest your head on a blanket or a block. If even with your bolster, this still is uncomfortable, or if you feel pain in the left knee, you can roll onto your back for the reclining pigeon that we've done in a few of our practices so far. Take a deep breath in. And let that breath go. Press your way back up. And just adjust so that you can pull that left leg back to table. And take a moment to wiggle out. Maybe stretch the leg out behind you. Press the heel towards the back of the room or shake the leg a little bit. We're going to come directly to the other side. So if you know you'd like to use your bolster, just switch it so the left side is a little more forward. Swing that right leg over the bolster, and then as you start to lay that knee and shin down, you'll pull your foot back and sort of snuggle it under the bolster. So you're able to sit across and have some more support. If you're lower to the floor, you might just put a block or a folded blanket just under that right hip. And then once you're situated, Maybe you fold forward on the forearms or even resting the head. Take a deep breath in. Let that breath go. Start to press your way back up and shift so that you can pull that right leg back to meet the left in table. Shake it out. Do any stretching through the right leg that you would like to. And then you're going to turn your bolster long ways on your mat. And take one block, bring it to the very top of your mat, and then also lay a blanket over that block so it's soft. And then there's some space, maybe 6 or 8 inches in between block and bolster. We're coming into a prone shavasana next. We're still going to have one more resting shape after this, but this is a good reminder that shavasana doesn't have to be on your back. Some days, for some of us, this is going to feel much better. So it's just testing out a new resting shape. You're going to lay on your bolster, and you want your block set up so that your face is in the space and your forehead can rest on that blanket. Let your legs relax out to the sides and let your arms relax, either palms down or up, whatever feels better to you. deep breath in. Let that breath go. Start to lift your head, pull your hands under your shoulders, and press your way up and off your bolster slowly. And then just keeping one block at the top of your mat, slide your bolster on top of that block so you have a little mini recliner. And you have options here to take the block out for a deeper back bend, or you can put your 2 blocks under it and set your recliner up higher if you would like a more gentle variation. You might even put your blanket up at the top for your head, and then turn around, sitting in front of your bolster, reclining back. Legs can be however is comfortable. We'll take this slight heart-opening Shavasana for today. If this doesn't feel super restful for you, feel free just to lie flat or to take a different resting shape. With each exhale, let the body fall a little heavier. Get a little more relaxed. a deep breath in. And let that breath go. Bring your hands close into your hips. Slowly press your way back up to sitting. If you're lower and you would prefer to roll to one side first, feel free to do that. Roll to one side and pause. And just as you feel ready, slowly make your way back up to sitting. Finding your way back to any comfortable seated shape. Maybe the eyes are still closed, or you just take an easy gaze once you're back upright. And then float the palms together, bow the chin slightly. Bringing your focus back to where we started, thinking about the yama, aparigraha, non-clinging, non-possessiveness. As you prepare to travel off your mat into the rest of your day and towards the days ahead, aim to get rid of the stuff that is no longer serving you, whether that's material things or relationships, people in your life. But also, aim not to try to possess anyone else. Don't cling to ideas of who you think others are. Let those people grow and change, and also let yourself change. Don't cling to who you think you need to be. Instead, using your yoga practice, using these yamas and niyamas to find out more about who you truly are at your deepest level, and what you might need right in this moment to deeper connect body, mind, and spirit. Taking a deep breath in and letting that breath go. And so I bow in thanks to you for sharing practice and for being a part of our virtual yoga community.